Welcome back to the Valley of the Old Farm and PC Gamer tries console. So last time I was ploughing one of our fields and I finished that up off camera. Actually feels like a really long time since I was playing on here, which I seem to say a lot, so oh well. I haven't checked on the cows actually. Let's just quickly do that. Well, all of the animals, in fact. So the cows are okay, the chickens are okay, and the sheeps are okay. Cool. Oh, production. Production is okay. Awesome. So I think we still have the seed at least. And probably that's going to be okay for doing the job that we need to do. Let's just check. It's around here. Yep, there it is. Let's see if we can pick this up. I don't know if there's any seed or anything left in it. I hope there is. No. Quite a small seeder for quite a big field. So if we check the map, God, it's going to take forever to load, but the plan is to plant field 61, which is quite big to do with a 3-meter planter, and it took me a good hour or more to do the ploughing. So I'm kind of wondering if, let's just quickly, now in the sales, I miss the store sales mod. So we've got about 180 horsepower. And the field is ploughed, so we don't need a direct drill in particular. So we don't have enough horsepower for that. We don't have enough horsepower for that. We do have enough horsepower for the Lemkin, which is 12 meters. Now, some of the purists will say that that our tractor, with its 180 horsepower, probably shouldn't be pulling a Lemkin, but in the interests of time and all that, we're going to lease a Lemkin. So I am going to let's borrow 10 grand. Go into the store. I'm going to return the oatinger. And we are going to go back into the store because I pressed the wrong button. And we are going to lease the Lemkin. I really like the Lemkin stuff, so it's no bad thing. It's no bad thing. And what's it going to cost us to lease it? 8 grand. You know what? I am going to accept that. So we should have emptied the seeder before we returned it. That's annoying. So we're going to have to drive up to the store, which is, again, a little bit annoying. So let's get going, and I might skip part of the journey. So why am I so bothered about time? And if you've been watching the rest of the videos over this week, you'll know. If you only watch this video, I'll just quickly say that that does seed. We don't need to go get seed, so we can in fact use the reset trick. So let's do that. So I am, what day is this video coming out? I am either on holiday or about to go on holiday. When you're watching this. So I am currently trying to get enough content recorded and edited and uploaded so that while I am away for a week, there is not a significant gap. Because kind of bad for the whole YouTube thing to have. Having a week off seems to take quite a long time to recover from, in my experience. So yeah, that's kind of why. I would guess about 1,500 litres of seed is enough. And I think the plan is to plant wheat. Because we basically want it for straw and maybe feed, and wheat will feed the chickens. So that's kind of the logic there. Yeah, so I don't like having big gaps anyway. it bugs me. So, and yeah, it does seem to take a while to rebound from that. So I've come up with a pretty reduced schedule across everything that I do on the channel. So Farm Sim and Timberborn, and the idea is that if I get it all recorded, there'll be at least a video a day for the next 2 weeks. So it does depend on me getting it all recorded. There is a good chance I won't. So yeah. Let's unfold. I'm going to zoom out a bit. There's trees there. So we're going for wheat. We are going to lower the seeder, and we are going to turn on the seeder, and we will see how we do. There are some pretty big hills on this field, so that may cause us some challenges. Lift seeder. But we'll see how we get on, you know. If we struggle, we struggle. Why can't I get my brain around reversing this darn thing? There we go. Well, because you're not getting enough sleep disturbed. Because, yeah, so much happening at the moment, and I probably keep talking about the same things. So, you know, I know what we should talk about. And again, depending on when this video came out, I actually drew the result a little while ago. But in the last video on here, I announced the 5,000 subscriber giveaway, and congratulations to Smock Farmer. He won the giveaway. We haven't actually had a proper conversation yet about prizes, because I'm pretty sure he has the DLCs that I was offering, and I did say that if the person that won them had them, we would work something else out. So yeah, we'll probably have had that conversation by the time you're watching this video, because as I said, I am recording things a fair way in advance. So yeah, congratulations to him, and thank you to those that entered. There was not many of you. Not many of you. I'm assuming that's because people didn't either already have the DLC or didn't want to, or I don't know. But not a problem. Not a problem. You know, as the immortal Mr. CDP says, not complaining, just explaining. You know, people don't want to enter. Choice. So far we're doing okay. We are trucking along at 15 kilometers an hour. We do need to get into making some money. So although I checked the cows, I did not check how we were doing in terms of things like, we've got some slurry, we've got some small amount of milk, we've probably got some manure, so we could start putting stuff through our biogas accumulator. I think that's what BJ stands for. And actually making some cash. So that might be a job for next time. So this may be shorter than usual. I don't know. It may be the same length, but I may play for less time. I find it really amusing. I don't remember actually, because I think on PC I've got all the trophies. I don't remember the game making such a big deal of it compared to console. So, you know, I don't want to judge, because, but it feels like console game makes a bigger deal of the trophies than the PC game does. Whether that's a PlayStation thing or an Xbox thing, I don't know, but yeah. So again, something I've been talking about a fair bit in videos recently, because it's a big deal for me, is I have purchased a steering wheel. And I did go for one that is PlayStation compatible for this series. So probably future videos after I get back from my holiday will be recorded with the wheel, or some of them will. We'll see. I don't think so. I've brought a wheel and a joystick, and I don't think I'll be able to attach the joystick. So I probably will still need to use the controller for things like loader work. So we'll see. We will see. But yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I'm actually considering, because one of the games that I inherited the teenager, because it was her PlayStation, was one of the Gran Turismo games. And when I were a lad, actually when I was at uni, Gran Turismo 1 was released, and that was mind-blowing for me. I loved that game. I went all in on a cheap ass, probably what you would call sim rig setup now. So I had a wheel with a shifter that was all mounted to itself, so it would sit on my lap in a chair that came in the room that I had at university. And I think I've spoken about this before. And it was kind of unplanned, but worked out really well. That the summer before that released, when I was at home, when I was at my parents', I had dug my. I'm of an age where you use, rather than, I these days I listen to almost all of my music on my phone through Bluetooth headphones or in the car. But my sister, which is a little bit older than me, had, when she was kind of in her teens, she had the proper stereo stacking system with big speakers and all that. And my dad had an even older one with big speakers, and none of them were being used. So the one, my sister's one, was pretty much dead. The only thing that worked was the turntable. Again, that'll give you an idea of the age. So what I did is I removed the turntable and so that I could get to the internals, and I actually put a piece of plywood in its place because I didn't need the turntable. Because what I did is I hooked up a 3.5mm jack to the wires that fed the turntable pickup, and that worked, which was insane. And you had to pretty heavily reduce the volume of the input signal because it's used to low power signals. And I then had, for probably, I think, probably 18 inches or 45 centimeter high speakers. And so my sim rig back then was, so I had a high back, fairly low chair that was part of the room that I was renting. I had my wheel. I had just trying to think. I had a colour portable CRT TV, so it was probably like a 15-inch screen. And I would have these 4 speakers stacked behind me. I think actually I might have had 2 in front, 2 behind. They weren't in any way surround sound. They were stereo, I think. And then the 3.5mm jack plugged in to the headphone socket on the TV. No, janky as. It was awesome. You could feel the rumble strips when you went over them. My roommates probably hated it. And to be fair, I wasn't someone who stayed up late playing video games. Never have been. Not now. But yeah, I loved it. I put so many hours into playing that game. It was so much fun. So to me, it was mind blowing. That the PlayStation 1 was my first ever. No, not my. I had an NES, a Nintendo Entertainment System before that. But never had that kind of game on it. So yeah, it blew my mind. And I played a lot of the earlier Gran Turismo series, so up to stuff that's on PS3, which is what I had, which is the last PlayStation that I had. So I got the teenager's PS4. So yeah, there's one of the Gran Turismo games that I think it came with the bundle that we got when we got the PlayStation 4 quite a few years ago now. And it is installed, and I have had a little play of it, and I love it. Whether I'll have the time to play it, I don't know. But having a wheel, there's a couple of racing games on PC actually I'd like to get as well. I've spoken about the new rallying game. the new Forza game I would love to have a play with. So yeah, you know, that'd be a bit of fun. But definitely on here, playing Farm Sim, I think I'll be using the wheel a fair bit more. You can laugh as I learn how to drive. Learning to use a controller is an experience as a console or as a keyboard and mouse player. Yeah, and actually, Mark H, not Mark T. There are a few marks about. Asked about whether I would switch to using a controller on PC. And I have thought about it. I actually have. So there were two controllers that came with the PlayStation 4. And the second one is actually paired to my laptop. And I have thought about using it. I've used it occasionally, but it's one of those things where the change, I resist the change. And now I've actually started using one. Maybe I could. I know Kartik uses a controller for a lot of his kind of front loader work and stuff instead, because he has a wheel. But he's he was a console Farm Sim, so yeah, I've thought about it. The other thing that I've been looking at is I can't remember what it's called, but the remote play for PlayStation, so that I can, like jobs like the ploughing job, I can do on my laptop, because to play PlayStation I have to be sat upstairs, which is less convenient sometimes. So the remote PlayStation, I think it's remote play, and so I got that installed on the laptop. The problem was that the controller is already paired with the laptop to work in the PC, and so it got a bit upset. So it needs to do a bit of work with that. But yeah, it's something that I am considering. I don't know if I mentioned. I know I mentioned that I had almost finished the mini side panel. It is now complete. I haven't set it up properly yet, but it is complete. I have two issues, or one issue. Two of the buttons don't work, so I need to open it up again to check the connections on those. And then I need to set it all up to work on the PCs. So probably what I'll do is set it up to work on one and then copy the controls file across. That will probably be the sensible way of doing it. So yeah. Whether I could take it away with me, but I think we're going to be massively short of space when we go away. So normally, a normal family holiday for us is going away in the UK, because we have the 4 dogs and we take them with us. But the last few years where we've had 4 dogs, we quite often take 2 cars, because we have to take a lot of stuff when we go away with the dogs. And that was less of an issue when it was the 3 of us at home and going away, because the teenager and Mrs. D would travel with dogs in 1 car, so that if there were any issues, there were 2 people to deal with the dogs, and I would be following anyway, and then my car would be loaded with everything else that we take. Obviously that theory is not going to work when there are only 2 of us going away, and we shouldn't need, I don't want to take 2 cars, and particularly going as far as we're going all the way across the country from Essex to Wales. So yeah, we've got to try and fit everything in. So I'll be taking a laptop with me, but I really don't think I need to be taking extras like that with me. It might be a job for when I get back. Once I'm back home, I will have also finished the decorating project, which is the other thing I keep talking about a lot, and because it needs to be finished, because the Friday after we get back, the teenager gets home for Christmas. So at that point, the room will need to be done, because she will need somewhere to sleep. So yeah. Later today, we will find out if that's actually going to be possible when we go to the carpet shop and try and buy the carpet and arrange to have it fitted. Because there are only a very few days where we are back from holiday, I am not away with work, and the teenager is not home already. So it kind of feels like, and as a bit of context, to do the decorating and to make it easy to do the skirting boards, I guess in the US you can call them baseboards, I have cut away the carpet from around the edge of the room. The carpet is trashed, so it needed to be replaced anyway, so that wasn't an issue. So if we can't get it done before she gets home, I think it's going to have to wait until she goes back to uni, and probably what I'll have to do is pull the carpet about a bit so that the furniture covers the areas where there is not carpet. And she's probably at home for like 2 or 3 weeks, so yeah, it'll be fine. We also don't currently have a bed to put in there, which I need to have a chat with Mrs. D about. We might maybe while we're away we can have a look and order one off of Amazon or something. I think Mrs. D has picked out what she wants to buy to put in there. Yeah. Right, that is going to need rolling, which might be the next video because we don't have a roller. I did not. I was going to say I didn't get a thumbnail, but we do virtual thumbnails for here. So I am going to say thank you to the patrons and the YouTube channel members. Appreciate you guys supporting the channel. Hope you have enjoyed this video. If you have, click the like button. Comments, questions, suggestions, leave them below as always. And I will see you next time.